everything is energy, right? You've probably heard people say that. We're going to talk about energy, how you're an energetic being, how we can shift your energy so that you can be electric, be magnetic. Energy really is electricity, right? And so I'm going to break down the science for you today, and then I'm going to leave you with 4 easy ways to very quickly actually change your energy or change the state of your energy. All right, let's start with this. I was recently at an event where Tony Robbins was. He talked a lot about energy. He gave a little bit of science, but he really started by saying that the most successful people, or the number one principle to success in everything, the difference in that is energy. So high success, high energy, low success, low energy. And so one of the things that we need to start with is actually just taking a note of where we're at with our energy. I would say start with, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high energy, 1 being I'm asleep. Where are you on that scale? A second question I would add to that is, what is the quality of your energy? I like to think about music. When I think about, we can look at the volume. That is one way to look at music. How loud or how quiet is it? But when I ask, what's the tone quality? What's the timbre? What's the texture? What is the quality of that music? Is it screechy? Is it loud but still really, is it like an I don't know, I'm thinking of like Tchaikovsky. Is it like a really rich Dvorak? Is it like some epic movie backing that isn't screechy but still just as loud? Think of an orchestra. So when we're talking about your energy and the quality of it, don't just think of high or low. Think of different qualifiers. Is it feeling positive? Is it feeling negative? Is it feeling you might have really high energy but be in a state of anger? So rate on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at in terms of level, and then also quality, really positive, light, joyful, light-giving energy, or taking energy. Maybe another way to look at that. Okay, so now at least you have some assessment in your mind of kind of where you're at with your energy. I'm going to break down the science for you. So when we say everything is energy, I really mean that. On a very literal base level, we are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of protons and neutrons, and that's the center or the nucleus of the atom, and then electrons. And they're all charged, either positive or negative, and that comprises all of life. Everything is made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of energy. I'm actually going to link a little video. It's kind of dry and pretty nerdy, and I couldn't find anything more exciting than this. If somebody wants to make one, let me know. But I'm going to link it in the show notes here. It's a quick explanation and visual example of how atoms function, which is really interesting because you have these electrons that are circling the nucleus of this atom. And between the electrons and the nucleus of the atom is a whole bunch of space. And if you put that atom or the nucleus of it in the middle of a football field, let's say if you blew up, and this is in the video, if you blew up the center of the atom into like the size of BBs from a BB gun, and you had maybe 6 of those, and you held them in the palm of your hand, and then you had electrons that were circling around the outside of the nucleus, the electrons would be moving to the distance of a football field. That's how much space is in between the electrons and the nucleus of an atom. So when you think of it that way, when you blow the size of an atom up, atoms are actually mostly made up of space. So why is it then that everything is, well, not everything, why is solid matter solid? If it's all made up of atoms, then why is it solid? Because if you think of the nucleus of an atom and the electrons that are rotating around them, what holds that atom together is actually an energy field or a force field. Think of Star Wars or something, but it is actually electricity. Now, this seems maybe weird, but this is also science. Think of when you hold two magnets of the same pole together. You can feel the energy or the sort of force field between them, right? And that's why they don't go together. If you have the same poles pushing against one another, you can feel the force field, but you can't see it. That's energy. Just like you can't see electricity and you can't see light. So we are made up of these atoms, and in these atoms have all of these force fields, and those force fields are electricity, they're energy, and they're vibrating, just like sound waves are a vibration, just like X-ray waves are a vibration. So we are literally made up of energy. We are energetic beings, and we are vibrating at a certain frequency or rate of frequency. And that rate of frequency can change depending on our energetic state. Okay. So now when you think of energy and you think of atoms and the nature of these atoms, think of a pot of boiling water. So you've got H2O, and it is in a liquid state, right? It's H2O, it's made up of atoms. You can change the state of that water. How? Well, you can turn the heat up, and what does that do? It causes the H2O to boil, and then eventually it will evaporate. When it evaporates, where does the water go? Well, we know that energy doesn't disappear. It changes state. It evaporates. So it breaks up and goes into our atmosphere. And then it turns into other things. What about if we stick the pot in the freezer? That energy, those atoms don't disappear, but they can change state. So when we're talking about your energy and shifting your energy, I'm not telling you to positively think your way to success. We're actually talking about changing the frequency, the vibration, the quality of your energy, changing the state of your energy or the state that you're in. So how do we do that? There are lots of ways we can do that, but I'm going to give you the most simple, quick ways I'm going to give you the most simple and quick ways today that you can apply right away. Before I do that, one more thing that I want to note is that our mind, body, spirits are completely interconnected. So one of the quickest ways that we can change our energy is to change any one of those three things. And that we know that we change one of those things, the other things will follow. You can start, we talk a lot about mindset, but today I'm not going to talk about shifting your energy by changing your mind. We're going to approach it from a very base physiological perspective. So, number one, we change our physiology. We can shift our body, and that actually changes the state of our energy. So if you're sitting, you can stand up. If you're standing, you can crank out a few push-ups if you want. You could Google the power pose. There's a lot of data and science behind this. If you're going to go do a big presentation and you're feeling kind of nervous or you're feeling a little down, you can stand and face yourself in the mirror, put your hands on your hips or put your hands in the air with your fist pumped and be like, yeah. If you hold that power pose, there are studies to show that you will shift your energy and change your state and then therefore show up with more confidence, which of course is going to affect and impact the outcome that you're looking for. That's why we talk, some of this law of attraction stuff, I believe that some of that is really real, but a lot of it is like what you put out there is going to affect how other people perceive you. But there are also there's such a thing as mirror neurons in our brains, so that there's also I talked about it in one of our last episodes. Dr. Jane mentioned these mirror neurons, but also how we have a resonance, an energetic resonance with one another. So there is a reality to what you like. If I have two guitars in a room and I pluck the E string on one guitar, the E string on the other guitar without me touching it is going to start vibrating. Why is that? Because there is a resonance that happens between those two, and we are no different. We were made up of the same materials, which is really fascinating when you think about it. So Change your body, change your state, change your physiology. Sometimes this might feel a little forced for you, and guess what? It probably is. But that's why we're doing it. You don't have to feel like you want to do this. You have to know that you don't want to be in the state that you're in and just decide to do it. It doesn't have to feel authentic. The point is that you're flipping a switch or using a technique and a tactic to change the quality and the state of your energy. Number 2, yell. Have you ever heard somebody say, or have you said, I've got a knot in my stomach, I've got a lump in my throat, I've got kind of a fuzzy brain right now? Notice that all of these descriptors are feelings that there is something stuck there. That's probably an energetic thing. And maybe that I think sometimes we literally get energy stuck, sort of. It's not moving in our body. And one way that we can move it is actually through our vocal cords and to move energy and move sound. So I would maybe do this in a car while you're pulled over, and you just scream it out, yell it out, get into a closet. You're just simply moving stuck energy. You've heard people say, give it a good cry. I think there's for sure something to this too. Our tears are healing power. And isn't it a feeling when you think you're going to cry and you're trying to stop yourself from crying? You can feel it getting stuck in you. So we want to be the observer and watch these things move through us and just let them move through us and then move on with the day. Number 3, you can sing. It's similar to yelling, but I'm going to take a little bit more of a different approach to this. When you sing, and I actually have a degree in music, so I know about these things. When you sing, you will tend to take a deep breath in, and it's almost like holding it as you're singing a phrase out. You breathe in a different pattern, and when you breathe that way with a longer inhale, a holding, and then a longer exhale, this is also why yoga is great, or certain forms of meditation, because it sends signals to your brain, which sends signals to your parasympathetic system to get it online so that you go out of fight or flight and into a safety relaxation response mode. So singing on a very physiological level will actually change the state of your energy and put you back into a safe space, or like the opposite of fight and flight, which is sort of relaxation and rest mode, recovery mode. And there's all kinds of science behind that. The rate of your heartbeat actually goes down. If you feel your heartbeat speeding up, you can slow it down by taking a deep inhale on the count of 4, holding it for 4, and exhaling for 8. That's also a technique that you can use to help yourself fall asleep because it signals to your brain safety and rest. And it also literally slows the rate of your heart down, which helps you go into more restful state. Okay, number 4, gratitude. This is a huge one. No matter where you're at in the quality of your energy, maybe you're in a mode of a neutral mode and you focus on the things that you're grateful for, that'll maybe pull you up into one level higher if you want to think of it in levels. Maybe you're really depressed, but you can get yourself to neutral. Sometimes the goal isn't to go from depressed to bliss. We just want to nudge up our quality level and change our state a degree or two. Gratitude is a huge, powerful tool for that. So take a minute and just focus on, they can be very little things. I'm thankful for the smell of rain. Wow, this is beautiful. I'm thankful for this hot cup of coffee that I have today. I'm grateful that my heart is still beating today because everyone's isn't. I'm grateful for the opportunity to listen to podcasts, to have a resource to do that, to learn and to grow. It might be really little things or they may be larger things, but taking a moment to pause and focus on what you're grateful for. All of these 4 things are really quick ways to shift your energy. And I'm going to end with this. Your energy impacts you. Your energy also has a huge impact on the people around you. If you're leading a team, if you're leading a family, if you have friends, if you walk into a room anywhere, you can feel the energy of people around you. You can, without saying a word, without even smiling, you can sense people's energy. So your energy has immense power on the people around you. And your energies can set sort of expectations when you think about leading a team or things like that too. So how you show up is going to dictate the level of success and the quality of the relationships of every aspect of your life. And we can't change the circumstances much of the time in our life, but we can change and decide how we're going to show up in those moments. So this week, my encouragement to you is to really tune into where is my energy at and what is the quality of that energy and what intention do I want to set with my energy this week? How do I want to show up to people? What do I want that to look like? So when I notice that I'm anywhere less than where I want to be, I'm going to employ one of these 4 tactics and work on beginning to shift my energy. So as a reminder, change your body or change your physiology is number 1. Number 2, yell it out. Number 3, sing. Number 4, gratitude. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic week.